Have you ever wondered how a seemingly distant king could spark decades of conflict and ultimately lead to the birth of a new nation? It is a story of power, religion, and the enduring spirit of a people. Philip II of Spain played a central and critical role in the Dutch Revolt, acting as the primary antagonist. His policies and determined efforts to control the Low Countries directly triggered and sustained the conflict, ultimately leading to the Netherlands achieving independence from Spanish rule. The core of Philip II's involvement stemmed from his staunch Catholic faith and his desire for centralized, absolute rule. The Low Countries, which included what is now modern-day Netherlands and Belgium, were economically prosperous but had a tradition of local autonomy and a growing Protestant population, especially Calvinists. Philip II viewed this as heresy and a threat to his authority. He actively tried to suppress Protestantism through the Spanish Inquisition and sought to centralize government, bypassing traditional local privileges and noble influence. These actions directly clashed with the deeply held beliefs and freedoms of the Dutch people, fueling widespread discontent and rebellion. To understand this period, it helps to consider Philip II's perspective and the impact of his decisions. He appointed Spanish governors, most notably the Duke of Alva, to enforce his will, bringing with them Spanish troops and imposing harsh measures and new taxes, such as the hated 10th penny tax. These actions, intended to restore order and royal authority, only intensified the Dutch resistance. They showed the Dutch people that their traditional rights and religious freedoms were under direct threat, unifying disparate regions against a common oppressor. One insider detail that highlights Philip II's unwavering resolve was his belief in divine right, meaning he saw himself as God's chosen ruler, making any opposition to him a sin against God himself. This conviction allowed him to justify extreme measures and ignore pleas for moderation. Another key element was his vast global empire, which, despite its immense wealth from the Americas, was constantly strained by military expenditures, including the 80 Years' War in the Low Countries and conflicts with England and the Ottoman Empire. This continuous drain on resources ultimately made sustained control of the distant Low Countries financially unsustainable. Understanding Philip II's unyielding stance and his attempts to impose religious and political uniformity is key to grasping why the Dutch Revolt lasted for such a long time and why it ultimately succeeded. His actions forged a distinct Dutch identity rooted in resistance to foreign rule and a commitment to religious freedom, leaving a lasting legacy on the formation of the Dutch Republic and its independent spirit.